Alright, today on this lovely Thursday, I found a book that I think many people should enjoy. Well, at least I like it. It's pretty cool. It's about Leonardo da Vinci, so I just thought I would read it. Show it off. Alright. 1492 was a very good year. Things were happening all over. In Spain, Christopher Columbus was about to be famous. In Florence, a pretty town in Italy, Leonardo da Vinci was teaching his apprentices to play the lute, to sing sweetly, to do the arithmetic, to mix paint and plaster, and to create masterpieces. Leonardo was the greatest artist in the world. He was also an astronomer, an architect, an engineer who made hundreds of inventions. He loved to make wonderful machines. He made a machine to lift a model of the Church of San Giovanni high up into the air and onto a flight of steps. The Florentines were amazed and impressed, but thought moving a church was a risky proposition, and it was never attempted. Gifted though he was, Leonardo had one great weakness. His imagination made him impatient, and it was hard for him to finish anything. Now take a look at this. Look at that. Whoa! Okay. This church, it's rather magical. It goes up and down. It's got a pulley system going. It's really cool. Look at this cool pop-up thing. Next page. Isn't that great? Be cool to know how to make that, but I don't. Zola, the bravest of all the apprentices, resolved to try out the latest design by leaping from the Tower of San Francesco. What a fall! By very good luck, Zola was not hurt. Leonardo and his apprentices gave up flying for the time being. So this guy, up at the very top, was the lucky one to try. Next, Leonardo made the giant figure of a man on horseback. See that now. It was about to be the largest statue in the world, but it was never cast in bronze. Some say the metal was sent off to make a cannon. Some said that Leonardo did not know how to finish the statue. Probably he had become interested in something else. That sounds a lot like me. It's bad. I'll start things, and yeah, I've got projects just sitting on the floor. It's not good, but I'm not Leonardo. Leonardo made drawings of the bones, muscles, and organs of human beings and animals. He also explored the life of plants, flowers, and trees. His 5,000 pages of notes are a jumble of notes and drawings. Drew stars, flowers, geometrical forms, and a horse's head side by side. One day in secret, Leonardo constructed a fearful monster out of lizards and serpents and toads and bats and all sorts of other beasts. It seemed to thrust its head from a grotto, frightening his apprentices. He then made a round shield and painted a picture of the monster on it. This is the stuff of fairy tales. So first, let's take a look at this. If I can get it. There's the monster. Here's this. I'm really bad at this. I should practice. Drawing stuff. Guts. All sorts of guts. Woo! Monster. Cool pictures. Leonardo studied the heavens and made notes on the wonders of the landscape of the skies. In 1492, most people believed the earth was the center of the universe, steadfast and immovable, with the sun and stars revolving around it. Leonardo's studies told him something else. In his notebooks, he wrote left-handed and backwards. Why? Perhaps it was to keep people from reading what they could not understand. In one notebook is the sentence, Evam ton does sun move. The sun does not move. Well, it's the sun does not move backwards. It's really difficult to read. Take a look at this. This is neat. Whoa! As we should all know, Galileo figured out a whole lot more. Then he got to die when he was, like, imprisoned by the Catholic Church. So, not too nice. Leonardo was invited to paint a mural in the Great Hall of the Grand Council of Florence. In order to cover the vast space, he constructed an ingenious scaffold that could be raised or lowered to reach any part of the wall. At last, Leonardo began to paint. He made a design that was so extraordinary that all of Florence came to marvel. Alas, the wall was as porous as a sponge. As the paint sank in, the wonderful picture disappeared before their very eyes. This is very sad. It's all faded. It's probably barely anything today, or it's just been knocked down and turned into something else. So, he painted the Mona Lisa instead. Heard in person, it's very small. I mean, like, small-ish. And whatever meaning is behind it, if it is more than just any old portrait, I don't really care. 'Cause it's a nice picture to look at, and it's magnificently done. So alright, childhood. My childhood, I didn't have a ton of little toys. I didn't have a ton of books, but I loved to just make different setups with all my different little toys. I have 2 younger sisters. We're each 2 years apart, so I had playmates all the time, even if we did get in a couple scuffles or 2. So, I picked 2 things, 2 wonderful things to represent some of my favorite parts of my childhood. Right here I have a dollhouse. Yeah. I loved making up little houses and zoos and everything. Here's a little horse and some people. Here's Mr. Victorian dude. Woo! Hello. I'm Mr. Victorian dude. That doesn't look good. That kind of looks like a Nazi thing. Never mind. Yeah, I'd make furniture. See, I upholstered a chair. All sorts of things. Oh, somebody's talking to me. That's cool. But I had so much time to just make things up on my own. It was great. Imaginative play. They say that's dying these days, and I really feel bad for those kids. I'd just make up stories. Another big part. Go to the library and get books and read. Read like a maniac. I was a maniac reader. So I've always loved stories, especially picture books. Even though I am a literate person, I need my pictures. And this was one of the best ones ever. I've kept it pretty nice. Dinotopia. These people, this dad and his son get shipwrecked, and then they're rescued by dolphins, and they go to this island where they're dinosaurs and people living in harmony. And it's by James Gurney, who does really amazing illustrations. They're gorgeous. But it's also at, fairly high reading level for 3rd grade or 4th grade me. And then there's more kind of like field book looking illustrations. There's some people on a brontosaurus. It's such an amazing book. And of course I'd eventually move into reading more grown-up things, and I read as much as I can these days, but I'm glad that I had a childhood that was full of books, full of fun little toys to make up stories with, and it's really added to my understanding and appreciation for the world today. So, I hope everybody has a wonderful Friday and weekend, and a great end to this lovely summer. Signing out, I'm Madwit, or Madeline. Happy Thursday.